Hello, and good afternoon. It is 3 o'clock if you're watching this live on the 23rd of May. And if it's not that time on that day, then you are not watching it live, but you are hopefully watching a brilliant recording of what we're going to be doing for the next 30 or 40 minutes, which is for me, Nick Milton of the Online Wool Show, to be chatting to my three wonderful guests. Who are all going to talk about crochet, because they're all into crochet, and why shouldn't they be? We're going to talk about why people should be more into crochet and not just knitting and other things. If you want to go to the website, all these lovely ladies are on there with the stalls, the Online Wool Show. You can type theonlinewoolshow.com or onlinewoolshow.com. All roads lead to Rome. That's a phone number if you want to text me a question. And that would have been a schedule, which you can't see anyway, but today is the last. So this is the 5th interview I've conducted today live. Yes, I'm still full of beans. Yes. Hello then to my lovely guests. Let's start with Donna. Hello, Donna.
Hello everyone. Hi.
And Donna is from the Crochet Craft Company in Southampton. Is that right?
That's right, yes. Sunny and rainy at the moment, a bit of a mix.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll be coming back to Donna soon to talk about how she got into things and look at products and blah, blah, blah. Sharon, over there, or up there, should I say, in Ramsbottom, Greater Manchester?
Yeah. Blustery Ramsbottom today.
Blustery.
Blustery.
Bracing.
Yes, very.
Yes, it's a common theme across the country, how windy it is. And hello to Sarah from Hook It Yourself, close by in Wigan.
Hi, yep, that's me. It's rather windy here as well.
Yes, okay. Yes, not only do we talk about wool and crochet and stuff, you also get a weather forecast from all around Britain. Okay, let's pop back to Donna and say, Donna, the Crochet Craft Company, how did you get into that? Were you always a crocheter? What made you start it? What were you doing before? Is that enough questions?
Yeah, I think that's probably enough questions to get me started. I started knitting quite a few years ago, so the dark side. And somebody asked me, I don't know if anyone can remember, but that Harry Hill used to have a show, and he used to have a bear on there called the Knitted Character. I don't know if you remember that at all. Someone asked me to knit this knitted character, and I tried everywhere to find the pattern for it, and it came up as a crochet pattern. And I always thought that crochet was sort of lace doilies and that type of traditional crochet. So that's what sort of piqued my interest in crochet, and I guess started my love of amigurumi, really, which is sort of more or less the main structure of my business. So my full-time job, I'm an HR manager. I'm a nice HR manager, honestly, but the business side is sort of crochet amigurumi characters and hand puppets and animals. So I love it. It's so great for mindfulness and well-being, and just switching off from the day job and everything else. It's just brilliant for that.
Yeah, I wanted to talk. I've not talked to people about that previously today, and I should have done about the well-being aspect. So yeah, I'd like to talk about that later. So if I don't, nudge me and say, okay, Nick, you were going to talk about well-being. Yeah. Oh God, I forgot. Anyway, I will now remember. Okay, Sharon, how did you get into the wonderful world of crochet? And I won't say wool, cotton.
Yeah, some wool, some cotton. Okay. But yeah, I originally started life out teaching design technology, taught for 16 years in high schools. Had a love for making and creating and designing, and I learned to crochet probably when I was about 5 or 6. My grandma taught me and my mum taught me. Knitting as well. There was lots of handicrafts, sewing in our kind of family. So when I had my first child, I went back to knitting to knit little Barbie dresses and things like that. And then some of the patterns had crochet, so I thought, oh, we've got to get the hooks back out. And it all came flooding back, really. And then I was asked to start classes and found that cotton was the best for pulling back and seeing the stitches with the stitch definition, and then I just thought I need to buy, and then Cotton Pod grew from there.
Yeah, I don't know if other people are. I'm losing a bit of your sound there.
Come closer?
Yeah, if you can come a bit closer. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, I think we got most of that. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, had you finished?
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah. So that's Sharon of Cotton Pod, and we'll obviously go back to Sharon and talk a little bit more. Sarah from Hook It Yourself, how did you get into crochet and the wool business and running your own business?
Yeah, so I started off learning how to crochet when I was a child, about 6 or 7 years old. My mum taught me the basics of both crochet and knitting, but I didn't pick it up again until I was at university, and it was quite tough university, as most people could understand, and I picked it up just to kind of like get myself away from the books and the lectures and all the essays and things. I then put it back down as I became a secondary school English teacher. I taught for almost 10 years, and I picked it up again during a really, really bad period of my life. About just under 5 years ago, I lost my little boy, my firstborn, just after he was born. And it was basically the doctors and the nurses said, you need to do something. I didn't want to go out the house. I didn't want to do anything. And my mum actually brought me yarn and patterns, and that's where my business kind of started, really, because after a few months it became quite exciting to see what she brought me, because it was yarns I would never use, colours I would never normally pick up, patterns I would never do, and it became really exciting. So that's where kind of my business started. A few years later, I had my little girl, who's almost 3. And I started Hook It Yourself 16 months ago. I launched it 16 months ago, and it's just taken off from there.
That's brilliant. I mean, I was saying about well-being and that, but I mean, to have such a deep tragedy in your life and to have something like that to maybe act as some kind of therapy or some kind of...
That's what it is. I use crochet as therapy, and I find a lot of my customers do the same.
Yeah. Well, let's come back to that a bit later, hopefully. So let's whiz back to Donna and say, now I'm not going to pronounce this correctly, but I'm going to try. Amigurumi.
Yes, yeah.
How do you say it?
Amigurumi, you're right, yeah.
And what is it? Please explain.
It's a Japanese expression, and I knew you were going to ask me that, and I knew I should have made sure that I remembered. So it's ami and gurumi. Ami, I think, is the knitted element, and then gurumi is the a character element. There's probably a much more detailed expression than that, but that's how I remember it in my head anyway. So it comes from Japan.
Yeah, have you got just? I mean, I'll ask you to show products later, but can we just see?
Yeah. So basically, amigurumi. So this is Bob and Bear. Basically, amigurumi. It's worked in the round. It's mainly worked using UK double crochet or US single crochet. The patterns are once you've got amigurumi down, you can more or less do them. They're all sort of started in the same way, and it's just that sort of 3D character, really. That's what they are.
Yeah, and am I right in saying that most of your shop is to do with those characters?
Yes, yeah. So it's all amigurumi toys, puppets, or I've got some wreaths as well that I've started to do, and some advent calendars. So, but yeah, it's all. I don't tend to do clothes or anything like that. That's far too complicated for me, because you have to size things properly. So I stick to sort of mainly sort of toys and household decorative items.
So do you design original amigurumi characters?
Yes, yeah. So all of the designs are mine. So I've got a range of animals. They've all got really cool names like Dave the dog and Jeff the giraffe. I actually enjoy coming up with their names probably more than I do actually making them. And I've got a range of puppets, and then obviously a range of sort of wreaths and advent calendars. And I sell the patterns and I sell the kits as well. So if people just want the pattern, they can have that. But if they want the whole kit with everything that's included, they can buy the kit as well.
Yeah, great. So we'll go back to Donna soon and see some more of the lovely characters and what you might be interested in crocheting yourself. But let's pop back to Sharon. Pop back. Let's have a look. Sharon. Cotton, why, sorry, did you say it before? Why specifically cotton? I mean, you did mention it, but...
I did mention it, yeah, I shall elaborate. Yeah. When I started my Learn to Crochet courses, I was looking for a yarn that had good stitch definition, and when you're practicing, you want to be pulling things back and redoing it. Sometimes some yarns you can get in a right knot, and that's very frustrating. So I found that cotton was easy to pull back. You could get good stitch definition so people could read their stitches better. So that's where I started really getting into cotton. And then there's the way it feels, it's nice and cool, but it can create warmth in the winter and coolness in the summer. It's got a unusual quality like that. And the colours are, can be quite strong. The cotton takes a colour, you know, the dye of the, oh, how can I explain this? The dyes show up very crisp and clear on the cotton. And then I just started expanding and finding more different types of cottons that I like. So I try to design kits and projects around the cottons I love. And I'm looking for more all the time. I've just found a new one. It's organic vegan cotton. So I'm excited about trying this out in the future. Yeah.
So is this quite a unique thing then, to be focusing on crochet and crocheting in cotton?
So I think most people who make amigurumi, and Donna, you might correct me on this, tend to use cotton as well. So it's used a lot for household items as well, like baskets, things like that. And it's an alternative. Some people come to me and say, oh, I'm allergic to wool, but I love to knit and I love to crochet, but I can't use wool, but I don't particularly want to use acrylic for whatever reason. So they enjoy using the cotton.
Yeah, great. So let's whiz back over to Sarah and say, sorry, I'm getting confused with all the images and pictures here. Have you got a favourite product you can show?
I do, yeah. It's probably at the minute the newest box I've launched literally last week, which is our mini box. So our products, if you don't already know, contain everything you need to basically get going as soon as you receive your box. So our mini box, this is just an example because they're all a mystery until you receive them. You would literally open it up and everything is in there. So we do postcard every month. You've got your yarn there. So this yarn was the Sirdar 100% cotton. I love using cotton as well, so I think Sharon will quite like that one. And then within that you've also got buttons, handmade stitch markers, or some kind of gift or treat in there, as well as little biscuits and a tea bag or coffee or anything, because it's always nice to kind of sit down and put your feet up. And I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but I actually find it quite hard to find the time to sit down and take some me time, especially when you've got little ones at home or you're working full time or something like that.
So Sarah, have you got something made up that kit would make?
I haven't got anything made up with this one yet, because as I said, we've literally just launched it, and every month would be very different. So each month kind of follows a similar pattern, and you get everything in it, the yarn, gifts, treats and things like that, but the yarn will be completely different. So I just have a look at what might be suitable, what people might like, what people might not have tried before. Because again, it's the surprise aspect that people really like about our boxes. I've had customers come back and said, I have never heard of this yarn before, but I absolutely love it. And they've gone out and sourced more of it, or they've come back to myself and said, oh, can you get me some more of that yarn?
Yeah, so you do those, what is it, a different one each month?
A different one each month. So that's just one of the boxes we do. We do 2 boxes, this one and the baby box, which contains an actual pattern to complete a baby garment up to the age of 12 months.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So Donna, have you got a favourite character there that we can see?
You know, when you said to me, can you pick your favourite character, I was thinking, oh, no, because it's like picking a favourite child. It's terrible because they've all got their own personalities. So, but I have decided, so I have picked my puppets. I've had these on my hands this whole time. So I decided to pick my puppets. And so I've got a shark there and there's a lion. Purely because they're so simple in terms of design and making up. The pattern's really simple, but they just come to life in your hands. And I think for children, their characters, as soon as you shove a hand in there, excuse my expression, but as soon as you shove a hand in there, their characters just seem to come to life. So yeah, I haven't got a favourite because the others are listening, but the puppets are really good because they're so simple yet so effective. So I do quite like designing the puppets.
Yeah, we've actually had a question in from a viewer, Marina. Hello, Marina. Thanks for watching. And it is for you, Donna. And I don't know if it applies to these lovely crocodiles, are they?
That's shark and a lion.
Shark and a lion, yeah, obviously. I was just joking. It was a crocodile. Because what she's asking is for somebody new to amigurumi, yeah, how do you say it? No, what's a good one to start with for a beginner, someone who's not particularly maybe experienced with crochet?
So I would say for someone that's completely, I mean, all of my patterns, apart from probably the reefs, because they're maybe a little bit more complicated, but all of the character patterns are really straightforward, and anybody that can crochet and know the basics will be able to do them. For the puppets are really good because they are just one basic pattern all the way down. But for someone that's completely new to crochet, I would suggest, so I've got a crochet kit called Dave the Dog. He was my first original kit and pattern, and Dave actually comes with a free online tutorial as well to take you through all the steps of how to do a magic circle and how to read the pattern, how to increase and decrease and all of those sorts of things. So for anybody that's just starting out and wants to sort of dip their toes into amigurumi, then Dave the Dog is a perfect kit or perfect pattern to do.
So there you go, Marina. Dave the Dog. That's the. I know it sounds like a bit of a Japanese. Sorry, a bit of a Japanese name, Dave the Dog. Yes, that's the one. Sorry, Donna. Are you going to say they're mainly made of cotton as well?
No. All of my kits are acrylic yarn, but I think people tend to prefer or tend to like cotton for amigurumi because it washes up a bit better if you're sort of chucking them in the washing machine. So they can be used. The patterns can be used with cotton as well, but the kit contains acrylic yarn. Yeah.
Right, good, thank you. We'll be coming back to Donna soon and we'll see some more of the characters and learn a little bit more about crochet and why people should, move from knitting to crochet or move from whatever to crochet. Can we come back to Sharon then? Favourite product?
Well, this isn't cotton. Is that allowed?
Yeah, of course, you can show what you like.
Well, I have a product that is the favourite of customers, and I have a product that is the favourite of mine. So can I show you them both?
You can, yeah, I'd be more than happy for you to show me.
Okay.
Show me and everybody else. Both.
This is cotton. This has been a popular blanket recently. It's called the Rainbow Baby Blanket, and the same pattern kind of makes this candy stripe one as well. They've been super popular during this period of time.
That's not cotton. What yarn is that?
This is cotton. Yeah. So these are cotton. Yeah. So these are the favourite of the customers at the moment. These little blankets. They're lovely and soft, but create a nice weight on baby.
Yeah.
To help soothe the baby. And then my favourite kit that I do is my Rosy Posy bag.
Nice.
So
yeah, that's really nice. Yeah.
Gorgeous.
So this is actually 100% wool, and you crochet it up and it looks like this. So with all the crochet holes in, and then you make all the flowers. So it's really difficult to do this. So, and then once you've sewn everything on, you pop it in the washing machine, and it felts up to create a denser fabric.
Right, so that's you must be, yeah, so this is not a superwash wool, this has got to be a wool that will felt.
100% wool, and the kit, the pattern and all the wool that you need for it comes in the kit. But my other passion other than cotton is felting yarn. I absolutely love it. It's not for the faint-hearted, because you put all that work into it and then you chuck it in the washing machine and kind of cross your fingers, and it comes out a bit bashed. So then you have to start stretching it and pinning it and putting it all back into place. But it's an exciting project because there's an element of jeopardy involved.
I think that's absolutely fantastic, and I love the idea that you don't quite know if it's going to work or not.
Yeah, and it usually does. So I don't know whether you can see, that's how it comes out of the washing machine.
Yeah.
And you've got to have faith that you can pin it out. But the booklet has all the, all the instructions in. But yeah, that's the thing I'm probably most proud of that I've ever created.
So do you do any other products where you crochet it first and then you put it in the washing machine to felt?
Yeah, I have a felted basket project. Which do you want me to go and find it?
Yeah, I'll move on to Sarah and then we'll come back once you've...
look for it.
See you soon. So Sarah, do you do anything like that?
I haven't done anything like that for the business. I've done it myself previously. When I first started off crocheting again, I made some felted soap. So you crochet around the soap, and then you use it as a bar of soap, and it felts up in the shower or the bath. But I've not done anything like that for the business. It's so much fun though. It really is. Yeah,
I mean, for the viewers at home, I'm going to show my expertise in the area here. Do not try this with cotton, because I'm pretty certain cotton won't felt.
No.
Will it felt in a washing machine? No. It has to be wool. Yes, wool without the superwash.
It's got to be 100% wool. Yes.
Yeah. Great. Sharon, are we back with Sharon has just nipped to the washing machine to bring this out.
So here's a before. So it's all floppy.
Yeah.
That's the before, and then that obviously it doesn't change colour in the wash. But this is the after. So,
yeah, that's isn't it? Yeah.
It's much sturdier, but that's a fun little project if you just want to try it. There happens to be some little felted Easter eggs in there in that one.
And
as well.
do those go in the washing machine all at the same time?
Yeah, just chuck them in. You can put them in with a towel and just put it on a 40 wash, and then if that doesn't work, put it back in.
Yeah, and are all these kits, people can buy these kits from the online wool show? Oh, I think Sharon's frozen. Either that or she's pretending. Sorry, we missed that, Sharon. Are they all kits?
Oh, okay, yeah. So all the kits are on the online wool show, and I'll add some more colourways on next week, because I think I've just got the grey colourway on.
Yeah. Just a quick question. Today we're doing various special offers and discounts. Have you got, Sharon, have you got a special offer or discount on there today?
I've got a special offer on this shawl. I was actually supposed to be launching this shawl at Spring Into Wool. It was a Spring Into Wool exclusive. So I've saved it, and I'm glad I saved it because it meant I could use, I could launch it this weekend. So it uses one of these sheep's whorls to make one shawl, and currently it's £4 off the whole thing, the kit and the for the pattern and the whorl.
Yeah. Sorry, can you hold it up a bit higher?
The whorl?
No, the shawl.
The shawl.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, that's lovely, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so exclusive. So the online wool show, and £4 off today. So that's great. Thanks for that, Sharon. Sarah, have you got any offers on today?
Yes, I have. I've put 10% off on our single boxes today only. So that includes the baby box, which is normally from £18. The mini box, which is normally £10, and also the Learn to Crochet boxes, which are normally £11. So there's 10% off all of those today.
That's great. Have you got any of those to hand so we can have a look?
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is an example of a past baby box, because they're all a mystery, so I can't reveal the one I've just sent out. So again, we've got postcards, we've got yarn. So each month's a different brand, different colour. We've got little buttons that match, so you don't have to go searching for anything. This one included a little electronic stitch counter, some sweeties, coffee. Then at the bottom you always have your pattern. Okay, so this is the crochet one. We do also do a knitting variation as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the baby box, and the Learn to Crochet box. There's a series of 6 boxes in total. So this is the first one. So again, we've got postcards, we've got the yarn, and it's available in 3 different colourways, lemon and grey, blue and grey, and pink and grey. So this is the lemon one. So we've got the yarn, hook, stitch markers, large dyed needle for weaving in your ends. You've also got tea and biscuits again. And then you've got your instructions, which are, if we can see them here, they use step-by-step full colour photo instructions.
Sorry, what's that to make?
That is to make, if you complete all 6 boxes, and it starts from the very beginning, so how to chain, how to double crochet, treble crochet, and if you complete all 6 boxes, you'll learn stitches such as the bobble stitch, popcorn, a simple cabling, all sorts, and you create a large blanket. I'll have to stand up, it's quite large. So here we go. So it's a sampler blanket of lots of different squares and techniques.
Right, so once you've worked your way through all that, you'll be an expert at crochet, is that right?
Basically, it'll teach you everything you need to know to go on to then create whatever you wanted. One of the skills I also try to teach is pattern reading skills, because I find that a lot of people come to me, they go, oh, I'd love to crochet, but I can't buy your boxes because I can't read a pattern. Because they've followed YouTube videos, which is absolutely fantastic, but you know, I try and make sure I teach that skill as well.
That's great, and that is a beautiful link in, I should say, to Donna. I'm talking about YouTube videos and lessons in crochet. Donna has done some, and you can access them through the online wool show. And you start off with the very basics of crochet, Donna?
Yeah, so there's a number of videos there. I love teaching crochet. It's been really hard during lockdown that all of the lessons have been cancelled, but I've been doing some online as well, which has been great. But the videos, they're from the very basics. So as Sarah says, they're how to chain, how to hold your hook. Explanation is the differences between US and UK crochet, because I think that really trips people up as well, and just doing some of the real basics just to get people just hooking and just switching off and enjoying it. I think that's so it's so therapeutic just to get people really started with the basics. So but yeah, by all means, people please have a look at those, and hopefully they might help you get started and convert you from the dark side.
So yeah, I just to say that those are, if you go to the free demos and lessons page, you'll be able to see those listed on that page. Those that Donna have done, they're actually on YouTube, but you can see them on the website for simplicity, or go to Donna's stall and they're there as well. So Donna, can we see some more of the characters?
Yes, you can. So I did sort of show you a little bit of Bob and Bear earlier. So let me show you. So this is Bob and Bear. They're actually named after my children. Bob is my son, that's his nickname, and Bear is my daughter, that's her nickname. And my daughter is most disgusted, as most 16-year-old daughters are, that she's so much smaller than Bob. So she's not very happy. But Bob and Bear, so they come together, and they also have a little adventure book as well. So basically what you do is you crochet Bob and Bear, and then the adventure book is given to a child for them to draw and write their own adventures of Bob and Bear. So they can sort of create their own stories really, and either put pictures in or draw some or write some stories. And I just thought it'd be lovely if people were maybe going on holiday, obviously not at the moment, but going on holiday, or maybe if they were coming up to something that's quite difficult, maybe going into hospital or something quite challenging, then they can take Bob and Bear with them, and they can sort of write their own adventures about what Bob and Bear get up to. So that's included in the kits as well, in the Bob and Bear kit. So yes, so that's Bob and Bear. And then I've got I've started going into some sort of seasonal ranges. So this is my spring wreath. Don't know if you can see that. So I've got some bees and some chicks and a hedgehog here, and I think there's a snail over here somewhere. So I've got this one, and I've also designed a summer wreath as well, which is my new design, with the intention of obviously having 4 seasonal wreaths. So again, it's all based on that Amigurumi style, so magic circle, working in the round predominantly. But these are all available on in kit forms on my on the shop as well. Includes everything you need, including the wreath. It includes the invisible thread for the bees, all the stuffing and everything that you need to make those. So they're quite a nice little fun design just to brighten up a room as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing. I mean, anybody who says crochet is the kind of weak, kind of poor relation of knitting has only got to see something as beautiful as that, or the things that Sharon was showing and Sarah, to know that. I mean, what would you say to people, Donna, who maybe think they should are doing knitting or want to start knitting, or are knitters, to say you should do crochet?
I don't know. I know I joke about knitting being the dark side, and we have that joke with my ladies in my lesson when they come in and they're knitters, and I say, let me convert you from the dark side. But I think I mean, knitting, you can knit some beautiful jumpers. I mean, some of the jumpers that I see at some of the shows are just amazing. So I think they both have their own place. For me, I think probably toys work out better with crochet. They tend to have that more clean, modern look. And I don't know, for me, it's very much about crochet. I can curl up on the sofa with a hook and a ball of yarn, and just relax into it. Whereas for me, knitting seems to be a bit more formal, and you have to sort of sit upright and be a bit more formal. Whereas for me, crocheting's a bit lazier, maybe that's a wrong thing. I don't know if Sarah and Sharon think that, but it just, for me, it just feels a bit more relaxing. You can sort of really more relax into the crochet.
Yeah, because because you haven't got two needles, you've got one hook. And
yeah. But I think you can both create beautiful things. And I think for clothes, for jumpers and things like that, knitting is just, and the Fair Isle knitted stuff is just incredible. But crochet, you can also create some beautiful stuff as well. So I think they're both as amazing as each other.
Sharon, what would you say to move people from the dark side? Although you're a bit dingy there anyway.
I know, I don't know why it's so dark in here today. Well, I am partial to a bit of knitting. You can't really see them, but there's a pair of socks there that I completed recently. It's different. I'm a slow knitter. So if I've got all the time in the world, which I don't, I'll knit. So those socks probably took me about 3 years. Not because, you know, that's how long it's taken me, because I put it to one side and then I'm a bit of a serial whipper. So I've always got about 5 or 6 things on the go. So it's nice to occasionally pick up the knitting. I think the thing about both the crafts is the repetitiveness of some projects can be very good for mindfulness, relaxation, and I think whatever floats your boat. I'm not upset by people who knit or don't want to learn to crochet, but if they do want to have a go, you know, it's just something else to get your head into and expand your textile knowledge, I suppose.
Yeah. Sarah, what do you think about converting people and getting them more interested in crochet?
I mean, I'm kind of like the same ideas. I knit as well, incredibly slowly. I get frustrated with knitting. I tend to stab my fingers, or my finger hurts as I'm trying to knit away. So I gravitated towards crochet because it's so much quicker as well. I can sit, like Donna said, curled up on the sofa because I'm only using one arm, whereas with knitting I have to stick 2 elbows out and it's just not comfortable for me personally. But again, like Sharon said, it's all about the repetitiveness and the mindfulness of it all, and you can kind of really lose yourself within the stitches. But I've had customers who are predominantly knitters and they've said, I've always wanted to learn how to crochet, and they've gone ahead and bought my boxes and have producing absolutely gorgeous blankets and things that are all crochet. I think it is personal preference for a lot of the time. Some people say you're either a knitter or you're a crocheter, and I would say I'm definitely more of a crocheter than I am a knitter.
Yeah, and the well-being aspect, I mean, it helped you through a dreadful experience.
I'd say it saved my life.
Oh, really? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and for other people, do you see that when they take it up, it helps their mental health? Or
it definitely does. I mean, it's actually recommended by some doctors and counsellors and therapists because of the benefits it has. But it also, I mean, as well as the mindfulness aspect of it, it also can help with the onset of dementia too.
Oh right, yes. And does this
as
go
well as
for
knitting?
Sorry, does this go for knitting as well, or is it more? Yeah, I mean, knitting or crochet, both. Yeah.
Knitting, crochet, and I think in general, crafts in general as well.
Yeah.
But I have known lots of doctors to recommend crochet or knitting to their patients.
Yes, and the beauty of doing crochet is you can have the well-being, and you can also relax.
You can relax if it's not going right. You can rip it out. I've thrown bits of crochet across the room because I've got too frustrated with it. But, you know, it's always so easy to come back to. You can put it down for 2 years, which I've got a project down here, which is hibernating, and pick it up again and be in exactly the same position you were when you put it down and just keep on going.
Yeah. Donna, do you think it's really good for people's well-being?
Definitely. I mean, there's been studies out there about, you know, not just crochet, but knitting and other sorts of arts, about how it can lower blood pressure because you're just sat and you're just very mindfully just concentrating on the craft that you're doing, and really helps sort of, you know, obviously not a doctor, but you know, so it just helps lower blood pressure and just that whole mindfulness. And I know that the ladies that come to my crochet lessons, not only the crochet element of it in terms of switching off from the day job, stopping to think about all the stressful stuff that's going on in the day, and concentrating on counting the stitches, which sometimes, to be fair, can get quite stressful for them. But you know, not only that element, but also the community aspect of it as well. And I've got some ladies, I've been teaching crochet now for 3 years, and I've got some ladies that have been coming to my crochet lessons for 3 years, and I don't teach them. They just come for the social element, and they come for the community, and they've developed this whole friendship. You know, it's just amazing, really. And I think, you know, the online stuff and all of this, you know, I think the yarn community is such a lovely, supportive place. And you know, you see all the groups of crochet online and things, and people asking for help, and people showing their work, and everybody giving praise and sort of saying, you know, how wonderful it is, and helping people with a certain stitch or a certain pattern. And you know, that community aspect, I think, is amazing. I think for well-being and mindfulness, and for feeling part of a community, it's just fantastic.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I mean, some of the loveliest people you could meet are in the wool community, and are into crafts, and going around shows and meeting the people that run stalls and the visitors that come. It really is a wonderful thing. Whether the knitting and the crochet help it, I'm sure they do, but even so, the people are lovely. And I just think the fact that people are making something, I mean, I know it's the process and maybe doing it with other people, the community aspect, but just the fact that you've made something is wonderful. It's been lovely talking to you, and I wish did we talk about special offers and discounts? Have we already done that? Yes, we've done. I think we've covered everything, and the allotted time is just about up. So wonderful. Thank you very much for joining me on this live interview, and for everybody that watched, and that everybody has watched the recording of. So I will bid a fond farewell to Donna of the Crochet Craft Company. Thank you, Donna.
Well, thank you for having me.
Can't remember his name, but that was not Dave the dog.
It's not Dave the dog, no.
But goodbye to whoever that was. Thanks very much, Sharon of Cotton Pod.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, and to Sarah of Hook It Yourself.
Thank you. Bye bye, everybody.
And bye from all of us. Bye.